The rescue took about an hour, and the ducks here are kind of like family to the employees. Firefighters were called to this house on St. Louis Avenue shortly before 11 o'clock last night. A mother duck and her ducklings were separated when they fell down this drainage ditch. The man who helped save them talks about the rescue. Over 30,000 children have crossed the Mexican border without their parents. United Healthcare says that the changes affect less than 10%. The tour runs through Sunday. If you want more information about how you can see these rare planes, please visit our website at fox2now.com. The shocking crimes were committed against a first grader. The victim in the case is now 17 years old and came forward to police to report the molestation that happened between 2001 to 2004. The ducks can be seen nestling around the hospital grounds, and it's just a happy story in the end. Reporting live from Fenton, Eppie O'Neill, Fox 2 News. First on Fox, the St. Louis police dispatcher suspended with pay as investigators look into a possible mistake that sent police to the wrong address before a murder last month. It looked like yesterday's heavy rain is to blame for a building collapse in North St. Louis. Just hours after President Obama authorized the airstrikes in Iraq, U.S. fighter planes dropped bombs on Islamic militants today. Tomorrow on the Pulse of St. Louis, we take a closer look at the Ebola virus, what it is, and how medical professionals protect themselves from getting the virus. Fox 2 and the Post-Dispatch have combined coverage you can count on in Sunday's paper. Fox 2 is the home of the Rams, and preseason football kicked off tonight at the Dome. The Rams took on the New Orleans Saints, and fans were ready for some football. Just when you thought you'd seen the last of Apparently Kid, he's now inspired a clothing line. Apparently, we'll have that story straight ahead. A raid on a backyard scrapyard in East St. Louis nets 21 vehicles. Big savings this weekend for back-to-school shoppers in Missouri. There was a series of massive explosions this morning in Taiwan. Who will determine imminent danger when it comes to rescuing that child?
You know, that's the person has to determine that the car's locked up, but imminent danger is really at the mind of the what we call Good Samaritan that's watching out for the child.
Listen to this. Nearly 1,400 patients who try to get appointments in the past decade at the John Cochran VA Medical Center were never seen. The problems in St. Louis are just part of a larger scandal involving dozens of VA hospitals and clinics across the country. Allegations of widespread data falsification and of veterans dying while waiting for care pushed the head of the Department of Veterans Affairs, Eric Shinseki, to resign late last month. Here is the White House press secretary talking about the audit.
Being able to review this data should help us not just decide on the scope or determine the scope of this problem, but also to evaluate proposed reforms that the president is committed to.
It happened outside of a motorcycle club near 18th and Wood around 3:45 a.m.
I know there's at least three or four that's been shot. Like I say, at least one is life-threatening and other are minimal.
The last update from police is that they're still looking for suspects. United Healthcare is terminating Medicare Advantage contracts with doctors. Doctors fear what that means for their patients.
If you put thousands of patients onto those remaining providers, then I would imagine the waits are going to be even longer. And if you have skin cancer, you don't want to wait 2 to 3 months to get it taken care of.
Bob Hughes has skin cancer.
I need to see a doctor, and this is not right.
Starting September 1st, his choices are to pay out-of-pocket network rates, find a new doctor, or change insurance companies, which he can't do until an open enrollment window opens later this year. And finding a new dermatologist may not be so easy.
Half of the dermatologists in the St. Louis area have been terminated from the plan.
Patients worry about what this all means for them.
Longer wait times, seeing somebody who I may not be comfortable with, who doesn't have the expertise as my current doctor, and I'm just very upset over that.
United Healthcare says patients can apply for continuation of care with an out-of-network physician for a short period of time. The healthcare giant is not saying the cuts are the result of the Affordable Care Act pushed by the president, but they come as government reimbursements to private insurances shrink to offset the costs of the president's plan. In a statement, the healthcare giant says, "We believe these changes will improve the healthcare experience for United Healthcare's Medical Advantage members in the St. Louis area. We understand that any changes can be unsettling. We are working to make the transition to a new doctor as smooth as possible, and we'll do all that we can to prevent interruptions in care."
And that maybe, if there's enough groundswell in our community, along with others across the nation, maybe United Healthcare will back down on this.